received. I'm sorry.
Mr. Pat, what is your job?
Well, I am a professor in criminology at Portland State University. I have many publications, and I am an expert in my field.
Okay. Mr. Pat, why are you here today?
I am here today to discuss the murder of Deborah Frost and how it connects with the mob.
Explain some signatures of mobsters.
Well, they can come in many forms. For example, we have the Italian rope trick, which is the mafioso ties a rope around the neck of the victim and strangles them to death.
Is Luke Michelto a mobster?
I believe so, because he has signatures that include cigarette burns and strangulation.
Is freezing the body popular?
In the mob world, yes, because of Richard Kolunsky, who popularized the freezing the body because they could not tell the time of death with it. He drove around a Mr. Softy ice cream truck for this purpose.
Is Chris Riggs a corrupt cop?
I do believe so, because of some key evidence that we have found.
Was evidence tampered with?
Yes. Well, I would like to start with this. Well, Exhibit 6 is Chris Riggs's original investigation, in which he says no notes were found. But Exhibit 10 is those exact same notes. And that leads me to the conclusion that Chris Riggs tried, but did not succeed in tampering these evidences.
Objection, Your Honor. The question about Chris Riggs is irrelevant to Mr. Adams' testimony.
I'm going to overrule that objection.
Okay. Well, after our sneakies, I would like to use Exhibit 6 and submit Exhibit 10.
So Exhibit 6 has already been received.
I would like to use
Exhibit 10 needs to be identified by the witness.
These are the notes that were supposedly tampered with.
Is there any objection to Exhibit 10
No objection.
and received?
Is Exhibit 10 a copy of the last notes? Or lost notes?
It is the copy, because these are obviously appetizers, and, yes.
If this evidence was tampered with, could Marvin's be tampered with?
That is possible. Very, very possible.
Do you have anything else to declare?
I would like, to say this. Jury, do you find it odd that the detective, Chris Riggs, is working for the same side as notorious Lou Contralto?
That is all, Your Honor.
Please stand, Your Honor. I'm Connor Walsh. Do I have permission to post the winner?
Yes.
Ms. Rice, you did not conduct your own independent fingerprint analysis.
I
Is that
did
correct?
not.
It is also true you did not go to the actual crime scene.
I do not. But I do have photos and diagrams of the place.
Mr. Arts, the testimony relied heavily on the documents in the police investigation. Is that correct?
That is true.
So, Professor, didn't your testimony state that this is a very deeply flawed criminal investigation?
In my opinion, yes. My expert opinion, yes.
Here, Mr. Arts, would you do me a favor of reading out loud to the whole courtroom the first sentence I've highlighted in green on line 41 and 27?
I am also extremely critical of the police investigation in this matter. I have done a single.
So, in other words, by your own estimation, the bulk of your testimony is based not on your own independent forensic analysis, but simply on reviewing documents and investigation that you yourself characterize as deeply
Well-
flawed.
Can you please restate your question?
By your own estimation, the bulk of your testimony is based not on your own independent forensic analysis, but simply on reviewing documents in an investigation that you yourself say is deeply flawed.
Well, I mean, yes, in a way.
So, Mr. Rice, could you share with the jury how much you've been paid to render your an expert opinion on this case?
I've been paid $3,000.
Could you also share with the jury how much you usually paid to render an expert opinion?
$5,000.
Wow, Mr. Rice, if I'm not mistaken, that's about a 40% discount. Is that correct?
That is true. But I would like to state that because I went to school with one of the attorneys, I have discounted my price as a professional attorney.
So you went to school.
Yes.
Was that in Chicago? You graduated in 1968, correct?
I'm pretty sure Chicago is in Illinois. Yeah, it says in my education that I went to Indiana.
Okay. So it was in Indiana. Have you remained friendly with this person for 40 to 45 years? Actually, Your Honor, I withdraw that question. I just asked that this witness confirm two things. That you have known this person for 4 decades, and that,
Objection, Your Honor. Back to the Chicago thing. This is irrelevant.
I was getting to a question that would connect to that.
Okay, I'll give you some leeway. Why don't you ask your question?
So I'm gonna start that question. I just asked that this witness confirm two things. That you have known this person for 4 decades, and that your professional courtesy discount was 40%. Is that correct?
Yes.
Asked and answered.
Well, I think now it's an ask and answer, but, so I'm going to overrule that. But
Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions need to be asked.
any regret?
Yep. Is it true that a criminal can wear gloves at a crime scene?
Well, that is true.
Is it true that you have pictures of
Objection, Your
that?
Honor. I believe that question is, the previous question was irrelevant. Is that correct?
The question that he just asked.
Yeah, irrelevant to my questions.
That's a good objection. I actually want to sustain that objection.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ask another question.
Is it true that you have pictures and diagrams of shells?
I do have pictures and diagrams, so I can have a image of the place, and I can have have a feel of how shells are set up and what's in shells. Right.
That is all, Your Honor.
Any recross?
to miss him.
That'd be all.
Can the witness be excused?
Yes,
Does the defense rest its case? Can we call other witnesses?
Yep.
And I think we can proceed to closing argument.
Good morning, Your Honor. Again, I'm Connor. I'm getting permission to approach the floor.
Yes.
Good morning, Your Honor, members of the jury, opposing counsel. We are here today to discuss the death of Devin Frost. Willie Freeman is guilty. He had the means, the motive, and the opportunity to do this. He had the motive. The evidence will show that his fingerprints are all over the crime scene and no of Luke and Charlton's. And when he found out shallots was in the red, he hired an expert on accounting, Leslie Moore, and he wanted to know why shallots was in the red. In a couple of weeks of investigating, he found out that Willie A. Freeman has embezzled over $300,000 from shallots. Willie was enraged. He was so mad. Devin was in the alley smoking a cigarette. Lou was in the other alley, and Willie A. Freeman came out of nowhere and was so enraged. He brandished a knife at Devin Frost, forcing her towards the cooler. That's all, I guess. I will have to give more time to my colleague.
Good morning, Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, and opposing counsel. As you might remember, my name is Eric Fulmer, and I will continue the closing argument for the prosecution. Willie Freeman is without any doubt guilty of murdering Devin Frost. Willie Freeman had the means to commit this crime. Willie's own testimony has shown he purchased a padlock and a key for the freezer, which Devin was found dead inside. Exhibit 9 was a receipt showing that he purchased this item. You need a key to lock the padlock, and Willie had the key. Detective Chris Riggs found Willie's fingerprints all over the knife, the key, and the padlock. Devin Frost died inside Willie's restaurant freezer, locked from the outside. Willie Freeman had the opportunity to commit this crime. The statement by Detective Chris Riggs, a person sworn to serve justice and uphold the law, says that Lou Contralto was at Shallot's on the night of the 20th, the very same night that Devin Frost has died. Contralto said Freeman was enraged, and he witnessed Freeman holding a kitchen knife and backing Willie against the wall. Detective Riggs' statement says that when he investigated Devin Frost's home, it was apparent she had not been home since Saturday evening, March 20th. She had not received her mail or picked up her voicemail messages on her home phone or cell phone. The last person to be seen with Devin Frost was Willie Freeman herself on March 20th. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, given the evidence, we ask that you find Willie Freeman guilty of the murder of Devin Frost. Willie Freeman must be convicted and justice must be served. Thank you for your time.
Defense?
Good morning again, Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, opposing counsel. My name is Sierra Locke. The defense is here today to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Willie A. Freeman did not commit the murder of Devin Frost. Devin Frost was not only a business partner, but a friend who Willie had grown to trust. Devin Frost had some problems with gambling, and when Willie found out about this, he was frustrated and shocked. But ladies and gentlemen of the jury, any one of us in this room would not have acted any differently. After Devin's death, when Willie found out about the money he would be inheriting from the buy-sell agreement, she immediately thought to share this money with Devin's family. This is why the defense believes that Willie A. Freeman has been wrongly accused. I would like to hand over the remaining amount of my time to Ryan Casper.
Good morning, Your Honor, members of the jury, opposing counsel. My name is Ryan Castor, and I'll also be giving closing statements for the defense. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Willie had the means to kill Devin Frost? Willie grew up on a farm. He wouldn't hurt a fly. Willie said she was as cool as a cucumber when she found out that Devin had been stealing from the company. Willie's testimony has shown that she is naive, doesn't know much about numbers, and has no idea what a buy-sell agreement is until after death. Willie Freeman was accused of murder. It was Devin's idea to make the buy-sell agreement in the first place. She had no way of knowing that she would inherit any money at all. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you prove Willie had any motive at all? Like a mobster, Lou had a signature. He had cigarette burns and neck bruises from strangulation. Poor old Devin had just a minor gambling problem, but sadly to Lou, she was dead money. $2,000 was enough to kill somebody for, to Lou Contralto. The buy-sell agreement was the only way that Lou could get her money. Willie trusted Devin and was accused of this crime. For 2 weeks, Lou Contralto was keeping tabs on her prior to her death when she was locked in a freezer. Ladies and gentlemen, can you prove that Willie is guilty? Everyone is innocent until proven guilty, and in this case, we are devastated to say Willie was accused of the murder of Devin Frost. Thank you.
Any rebuttal by the prosecution?
What's the rebuttal?
Oh. Well, usually the prosecution will get a second opportunity to argue anything that was brought up on the defense's closing
We were
argument.
never told this.
Okay, so we'll leave it at that. And I think now it's up to the jury to deliberate and render a verdict. So we'll take the